So I woke up a couple mornings back and I sat around for about 15 minutes trying to get SOS off my phone and figure out why my cell signal wasn't working. I'm sure you or someone you know was in that exact same situation. And if you weren't, I can only describe how it felt. But if you were there, then you definitely understand the unnerving, weird feeling of helplessness. Now, I don't think any of us should be so dependent on our phones that we feel helpless whenever we're without signal for just a little bit. I mean, it was like 6 hours? But the reality is we've become so dependent on our phones that having an entire morning without access to a cellular network pretty much made everything come to a halt. Now, luckily for me, I had Starlink, which you could probably see right behind me. And that helped out a lot because I wasn't reliant 100% on my cell network. But just a couple of years ago, that's all we had. We used a hotspot for all of our internet. I ran my entire web agency off of that single hotspot. It was kind of a crazy mess, but it worked. Now, we used AT&T for one side of the business, and then we used Verizon for another as a backup. But can you imagine what would happen if all the networks went down? So even just a couple of days ago, that seemed like a far-fetched thing. Come on, the internet service, it's reliable, they've got redundancies, but for whatever reason, the internet went down. The cell signal went down. Will we ever figure out exactly what it was? Probably not. Of course, some speculate that it was a terror attack. Some speculate it was the government testing things. Some speculate it was the solar flare. There's all sorts of speculations, and we might even end up getting an official statement. But for whatever reason, everything went down. Now, those of us who are in Texas a couple years ago, we all remember the huge ice storm that took the entire electrical grid to its knees. And that was the event that changed our life and put us on a trajectory for energy independence. We'd always had a generator, and since probably 2011, we had a big inverter that we could run our refrigerator and stuff like that off of our car battery. And I'd even played around with 12-volt systems for a while. And I have a pile of batteries that are just dead and useless because of it. But this system behind me, this is the game changer for us. It has allowed us to run our entire home off of just solar panels and supplemental energy from the grid as needed. We utilize a free nights plan from our energy provider that allows us to charge our batteries for free at night, but then run off the batteries during the day and then utilize solar to keep them charged as needed. We just put out a video about this tree hay behind me and how we're using fodder for our animals as another way to be less dependent upon the grid and upon the systems of support. If we can't go down to Tractor Supply and buy rabbit pellets or goat feed, whatever it is, then at least we have the ability to grow it ourselves. As the systems are becoming more and more fragile, it's our jobs as adults to actually go out and secure things the best we know how when we can. So get a small flock of chickens. They're super easy to take care of and a lot of fun to watch. Get you some rabbits. They're super fun. They're cute, easy to take care of as well. And they produce some fantastic manure. Start a garden, even if it's just a tiny little thing like this that one of our boys is putting together. Check out this soil that we got. This is compost. That's basically just chicken manure, rabbit manure, and then leaves. It's got a little biochar in there as well. Encourage dandelions, grow comfrey, grow herbs that you know are medicinal and can actually help heal your body and also just give you a better life while things are good. I don't want to try to sell you guys on fear or anything like that, but do the simple things that you can while you can, because we aren't promised to have all of it tomorrow. Get yourself a Berkey water filter or some other way to take any sort of water that you've got and turn it into something that you can drink. Because at the end of the day, we need to have our shelter, we need food, we need water, we need health and sanitation, and we need energy. If you're into this sort of thing, or if you're new and trying to learn more, we've got lots of videos on a lot of these topics. What we've been talking about most has been off-grid solar because it's the biggest issue for us that we've got to overcome. So check out my series on going off-grid and learn about how we are taking some simple products that are off the shelf and building a very DIY-friendly off-grid solar system that can support and run our entire house. You know, we're not actually scrimping by on, trying to make sure we don't have the lights on or anything like that. We can run the clothes washer, the dryer, the water heater, the well pump. We can cook. We can run the air conditioner or the heat. We can have all the lights on. We can do it all. We can run our house just like we would if we were on grid on a DIY off-grid solar system. So if you're interested in that, check out this video over here. But one thing's for sure, AT&T gave us all a wake-up call, and I think we need to answer that call, wake up, and realize that things aren't as secure and steady as they may seem. This is Eric with East Texas Homestead. If you're into this sort of thing, subscribe to the channel, share the show with your friends, and we will talk to you on the next one.